Yo, what up, though? This is your boy Chris B. Daniels back at it again on another episode of Show and Talk. All right, y'all. So last week we did Best of the Best Part One, the first movie, and as we all know, that's more like a drama slash tournament film, something very simple. I mean, there is no complication to the movie at all. You had firefighters that were selected to be on a national karate team, and then they all had to try to get along. They were training to go up against the Korean team. Then the big day came, with the tournament. Everybody fought, and that was that. Simple. So I feel like Best of the Best two kind of strayed away a little bit as far as a tournament film because it was technically a tournament film, but it didn't really focus on a tournament aspect. You know what I'm saying? The only time you really seen the fights in this movie, the competition fights, is in the beginning where you had Travis, from the first movie. He started off as kind of a racist asshole. You had him fighting in the beginning, going up against, these other gladiators. And he won. Now, once again, rest in peace to Chris Penn. And no disrespect, but I just didn't buy that first fight. You know what I'm saying? Where he went up against old boy from France. You know what I'm saying? I mean, plot armor, and he was one of the main characters, so of course he's gonna win, but I just didn't buy it, to be honest with you. Again, no disrespect. And the only other time you really seen the tournament match is two other times. Again, where Chris Penn, was talking trash, and he decided to go up against, the champion of the stock exchange, the place that he was trying to win. So when that fight came, it did not end so well for him. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta watch the. Well, I might as well just tell you, old boy kills him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that ended. That's the second fight that took place in the arena in the movie. And then the last fight was between, the big bad and Tommy Lee. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get to why, Tommy fought him later on. So how it even got to that point is when again, when Chris Penn fought, Brackus. Brackus, broke his neck. And the only reason why Tommy and Alex knew because what happened was Alex earlier on in the day, Alex and Tommy had dates, and Alex set up a babysitter for his son or whatever. And so his son kind of lied to the babysitter, saying I forgot what he said to her, but he canceled. You know what I'm saying? Well, he canceled the babysitter's service for that night. And so Alex had to call Travis to come pick up, his kid or whatever, so he can so he won't be at home alone. And what happened was when Travis and Walter got to the stock exchange, I mean, of course there weren't no kids allowed, but Travis bribed the doorman, you know what I'm saying, to let him in. And so right when Travis was getting ready to fight, Walter was he was up in the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, with the other guy, the camera guy. You know what I'm saying? And as he was looking down and he seen that Travis was fighting Brackus, Brackus was watching his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm sorry, but Travis is in over his head on this one. And so Brackus broke his neck, and then Walter he ran away, and he found out where I guess Alex told him where they were going to be. You know what I'm saying? But next thing you know, Alex and Tommy went to the stock exchange, And it's got your boy in this movie too, Wayne Newton. He was the guy that was managing Brackus. So when he answered the door, they were asking about Travis, Alex and Tommy. And I'm just gonna call him Wayne Newton. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of this review. Because I forgot his name in the movie. But anyway, I think it was Weldon or something like that. But his name is Wayne Newton. But anyway, he opens the door and he denied the fact that Travis was even there in the beginning. But Alex and Tommy wasn't buying it. So eventually he admitted that Travis was there, but he got beat up pretty bad. So, he left with lumps and all of that. And so they left the stock exchange thinking that, Travis might have went home fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But the kid was trying to convince him that, Travis was killed. And so next thing you know, Alex goes home with his son, and Tommy is driving all around town looking for Travis. And so Alex, he eventually found out what happened when the police pulled Travis's body up from the river. You know what I'm saying? And then Tommy met him out there. So they went back to the stock exchange later, and they confronted Brackus. And so Brackus admitted to them that he killed, Travis. And so Tommy and Alex started fighting. You know what I'm saying? And then Tommy gave Brackus a scar on his cheek. And so they had left after that. The next thing you know, these gunmen started following. Now, I'm going to say this right here before I continue. In this movie, these gunmen had no mercy because even though the kid told his father what happened, his kid had nothing to do with Tommy and Alex, you know what I'm saying, confronting Brackus. So apparently, Brackus was so pissed, he sent the gunmen after the kid, Alex, and Tommy. So they were following, the kid home from school, Walter. And so when the gunmen, you know what I'm saying, they followed him into like this I think it was like a hangar or something, airport hangar or whatever. And then they got stopped by the police. So Walter got away. And when Walter got home, the dudes, they got to him anyway, and they started shooting the place up, and they broke in. So Tommy and Alex started, washing and whooping their asses. And then next thing you know, they had to get away. So they went to Tommy's, I think it was grandmother. Went to his grandmother's house, and there was this guy there. He's supposed to be Tommy's uncle. I guess it was his adopted uncle. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming it was his adopted uncle. And he was played by Sonny Landham. His name was James. So at the beginning of this movie, we find out that James, you know what I'm saying, had a history of, fighting Brackus. And I believe he was one of the only ones that actually beat him. And so when we first meet James, he's drunk as shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking all kinds of shit to Tommy. And Tommy kicks him, I think it's like 2 or 3 times. And then when James got up, he punched Alex for no reason. I thought that shit was hilarious. I don't know why, I just did. So eventually it got so bad that Tommy's grandmother confronted him because he was practically drunk the whole day. You know what I'm saying? So she gave him an ultimatum. Either you help Tommy or you got to get the fuck out. You know what I mean? So the next day he was sober and he was training, Tommy and Alex to fight Brackus. And so not long after their training was pretty much complete, the same gunmen arrived at Tommy's grandmother's house. And then, you know what I'm saying? They put everybody in the living room or whatever. And they grabbed Tommy because James, you know what I'm saying? He got killed because he was trying to save their lives. But, at first they shot his finger off. And then, you know what I'm saying? They just shot him up. And then one of the gunmen walked up to him and shot him twice in the head to finish him off. And so Alex managed to get the rest of them out the situation after they took Tommy away. And he shot, you know what I'm saying, 4 shots in the air to make the other gunmen think that the dude, executed him. And so when they brought Tommy to Brackus, they gave, Tommy had to fight the other, gladiators to get the Brackus, which makes no sense to me, by the way. I'm gonna stop right here and say this. So when they brought Tommy to Brackus, you think Brackus would want him right there and then. You know what I'm saying? After putting that scar on his face. But he had to go through the tournament, just like Travis did, to get to him. You know what I mean? I guess because they wouldn't make money if they go straight to the fight with Brackus. If Tommy went straight to the fight with Brackus. So Alex, he runs into Dahan and the other two that fought them in the first movie in the tournament, which they came across him. I meant to say this too, but they first encountered Dahan and the other two at Travis's funeral. You know what I'm saying? Near the beginning of the film. And so Dahan was willing to help Tommy and Alex in any way he could. And so Alex, he took his son to his girlfriend's house, which was played by Meg Ryan. Oh, not Meg Ryan, but Meg Foster. Damn. But Alex took his son there, and then he went to go meet up with Dahan and the other two that fought Travis, him and Travis in the tournament. And so as they was going through the club, they was whooping everybody's ass. And I gotta say, Simon Reed, he's got to be one hell of a martial artist, man. So after they, pretty much destroyed all the henchmen, Tommy found out that Alex was still alive when he appeared in the arena. And then Tommy, he was about to get his neck broken, but somehow he got out of it. And then he starts washing Brackus. And so Brackus had a chance to basically, stay down. Tommy showed him mercy, even though he killed somebody close to him. You know what I'm saying? But Brackus didn't listen. He got up and he tried to attack Tommy, from behind. And Tommy grabbed him and broke his neck. You know what I'm saying? See, I know I'm stuttering a lot too in this video, man, because I'm going off the head. I ain't even got a script for this. So, everything is off out of memory. So, you know what I'm saying? Based on memory. But anyway, after that, Tommy closes the arena. And that was pretty much that. And I'll say this right here. I did see this movie before I watched the first one. I forgot where I first saw it, but I had watched it several times because, like, when the intro of this movie came on, you seen clips from the first movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that first movie looks pretty interesting. I got to go back and watch it. So just the intro alone made me want to watch the first movie. But this movie here was more action and martial arts, which I love action movies and martial arts films. So, this movie was almost perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? Eric Roberts, his martial arts is it's alright. But Philip Ree, yo, he's dope. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't seen this movie, you definitely gotta check it out. I will give this movie I give it an 8. You know what I'm saying? The first movie was a little deep due to the drama aspect of the team before the tournament or before the competition. But this one right here was straight up action. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. You know what I'm saying? Now, for some reason though, Eric Roberts was he had the he had the what you call that? He had the well, he was a star of the movie, according to the credits, but really it was Philip Ree that was actually the main character. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, check this movie out. You will not regret it. If you're into martial arts, yo, it's a good film to sit down and watch real quick. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that long. So like I said, good movie. But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this anywhere else, you know, Facebook, which my name on there is Chris B. Daniels. My name on Instagram is World Rule Talk. And on here, as y'all know, World Rule Talk. But hey, check me out there, and I will get back with y'all later on. All right? Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwaves. Keep us balanced out and all on the same thing.